And winged sumac. Get these little wings in between the leaves. Poison sumac right here to get me all nice and itchy while I'm sitting in my chair. Very nice, I like it. Now this is this should be I think it's like staghorn sumac. It's non-poisonous, you know. It's got some red berries, citrusy flavored, you know, almost like lemon berries. I guess people make juice out of the berries. Small little berries, mostly seed, you know. I'm thinking they'd be great in bread with the, you know, the tiny little seeds, kind of like peppercorns almost, but the red. The coyotes are sounding off pretty early today. It's only like 5 o'clock, but they're already going. Let's move back though. Oh, I think it'd be great for bread. Marigolds. So marigolds are the most popular, you know, companion plant for gardeners, you know, that kind of get into the horticulture or whatever. And you kind of see why, you know, the marigolds, nothing's eating the marigolds. But then the zinnia, and zinnias are another popular one, you know, but the zinnias, like the grasshoppers and the crickets, eat these, chew off the flower heads. And they eat the leaves of the zinnias. We've got some, it looks like some damage right here to this marigold, but they only chew a little bit of it, and they're like, yeah, I'll hold off, you know, so maybe there's a smell to them or a taste to them, you know. So I'm not really a good gardener just yet. It's a good thing I got years of practice ahead of me. Started off with like, I don't know, 30 onions. I think this is 1, 2, my last 2 onions right here. I was like 30. It's not like I was eating them. They're just kind of dying. Yeah, it was like no rain in July. Then I get the backhoe and then it starts raining like crazy. But what do you call it? You know, the well went dry. The little hand pump well wasn't getting anything out of it. Just noise. So I have my rainwater jug still. You know, all those got water in them. Oh yeah, I never mentioned that. They still got water in them. But I wanted to save that for watering my trees. You know, I didn't want to waste it on annuals. You know, like I was thinking August would be even drier than July, so like 2 months of pretty much no rain I would get. But instead, August has just been downpouring. But yeah, so everything died really. You know, that lettuce that was going died, but some new lettuce. You know, these are seeds I put in there a long time. Oh, I got another onion. Seeds I put in there a long time ago are finally starting to sprout, but it's kind of uneven. You know, these marigolds are, you know, I planted these things first, and then like a couple days later I planted these marigolds and zinnias, but you know, they all died, you know, except for these marigolds and zinnias. So like these last seeds are now getting blotted out by this. Oh, that's an old flower head right there. You like this? Here's a culprit right here. Probably should do a video of them eating. You know, they just sit up here chewing away, munching away. You know, they cut this one in half, but it managed to heal itself. You know, this is just like the tiniest little bit remaining, holding it together, but it kind of fused itself together, grew all that material, so it's actually making it. Does like a review and then grows back up. I mean, those grasshoppers are vicious. And they poop out my chair. They go over here, they eat, and then they go over here and they poop. Squirrel. That's kind of the cool thing, you know. You know, my wheat beds. Let's see. None of them really were impressive, you know. That one got the most kernels, most berries from that one. What do you call it? I want to say that was, I can't remember if it was the red wheat or the white wheat. That was the red wheat. The red wheat, I think, did the best. You know, had the most berries, not the most plants, you know, but the most berries made it. You know, so either it produced the most berries, or the things that eat the berries, you know, like little caterpillars and the little grains, you know, wheat grains. They didn't prefer that flavor. They preferred these flavors, you know. These ones either didn't make as much, or they got eaten out more. So that maybe end up being, you know, just regular old red wheat might be the best. Citronella, I forgot to mention this before, but there's so many mosquitoes in the spring, early spring, that got some citronella. From the store, they chop off the head. You know, citronella is actually a geranium. This is like a really big geranium, and it would go 3 to 5 foot tall. You know, it would be a perennial, but it freezes in the winter, and if it freezes, it dies. We got a really big walking stick. Full grown. Yeah, so I think the green ones are just babies. I'm not seeing any green walking sticks now. Now they're all like full grown adults. Don't run, guy. You can't run fast enough to run. Oh, he's missing a leg. He's only got one front leg. I think I'll feed you to a spider. Slow enough moving. No, I was just kidding, guy. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, they cut off the flowering heads though, these geraniums, so they don't get that big, you know, and they don't flower either. But then, so what I've been trying to do, you know, official technique, is you have the leaf in some soil, you know, holding it down with a rock, and then the leaf will sprout roots, and that you can then, once it's got some roots, you can, let's see if we got a good view, you can cut the stem, you know, once it's got some roots developed, cut the stem, and then this will turn into a whole new plant. You know, bring this in during the winter, and then bring it back outside in the summer, spring, you know, and it'll grow into a new plant. But I would like some citronella, you know. Off is expensive, and this just smells awesome. You know, this isn't as good for getting rid of the mosquitoes as off, you know. They use citronella and better stuff. But, you know, this is kind of a, you know, kind of when the poop hits the fan, I would rather have citronella than nothing, you know, for those spring mosquitoes. So I'm going to try, you know, it's not working too well, you know, 3 attempts, you know, like this one right here, the leaf is dying. It's not dead yet, there's a little bit of green left. So I think it's going to die, you know, same with that one. It's kind of not looking good, kind of dead. You know, this one's looking good. I got 6 attempts going, you know, and these 2 I'm probably going to end up having to switch out if they actually do die before they get roots going. Oh yeah, so the squirrel, you know, it's dug up these oat, or the wheat planters. And, you know, I had the onions in this one, and the onions in that one, and it hasn't dug up those yet, you know. Like, it dug out the carrots, you know, that I had going, but it hasn't, you know, done a whole lot of rummaging around. Like, maybe, you know, here's like a little end of an onion, you know, and probably like a 1-inch bulb in there still, you know, end of an onion, probably like a 1-inch bulb, you know. So they say, you know, having like onions and garlic is good, you know, to have them mixed around in your gardens for, let's just see what this looks like. A little bulb for keeping pests away. You know, like caterpillars, and we call those things grasshoppers and whatnot. Don't necessarily like the smell of the onions and garlics, but it looks like maybe the squirrels don't like them either. So I'm thinking in the future. Oh, so this right here is like I can't remember what kind of variety it is. It's supposed to be like a sweet onion. It's not sweet though, but it's a mild flavor. So you can just eat them like this. And it's not like overpowering, you know, it's powerful, but not overpowering. Oh yeah, so my Olympian fig doing good. Nothing amazing, you know. Not bad though. I like this though, the Chicago fig. This thing's just been. Here's the base of it, you know. Oh yeah, so you know, like using these to propagate more, you know. So I'll be like in the winter time, I believe, is the best time to do it. Cut these. Oh yeah, so it's considered a soft cutting if I were to do it now while it's summer. But if you do your cuttings, and the best way to grow figs is through cuttings, propagating them. You know, when you do it in the winter, it's considered a hard cutting. So like cutting this, you know, and then cutting it into some 6-inch strips, 6-inch, you know, pieces, 6-8-inch pieces, and then, you know, dipping one end in some rooting hormone, and then in some paper towel or some soil, you know, keeping it indoors. And then in the springtime, planting it, you know, it'll root out and all that jazz, you know, and that's kind of what I'll be, you know, planting over there. And then see, oh, this guy's even bigger. This guy is like, he's got all of his legs. It's a walking stick. Yeah, but this is, you know, this is like 1.5 inches diameter almost, and it started off kind of like this. Yeah, here we got some culprits. I don't know what they're doing over here though. You eating my fig? I mean, they're not eating the branches. So crickets. These guys have been chilling out over here. Maybe just because they think it's a safe spot. You know, these are little baby crickets. Like this, you know, this thing's maybe got some kind of a smell to it that keeps the other bugs off of it, you know, because you don't see any caterpillars or things here. But yeah, this one's got like probably about 14, I think I counted before at one point, figs on it, you know, and it's grown real thick diameter, you know, from like a 1/2 inch diameter to like almost 1.5 inch diameter. It's grown, and this is next to kind of, you know, do my compost there, you know, and then move it to here. Once that piles up enough, you know, probably about another month or so, you know, a couple weeks to a month, I'll be transferring that to here, you know, put in some greens and then some of that, and then some greens and then some of that, you know, layering it in. But so this is close enough to where maybe that's why this one's doing so well. It's got all that nice fertilizer. But yeah, I'm gonna say, you know, this one is just creating all these little shoots, you know, for me to take cuttings off of, you know, to cut them up and plant them. And it's also just growing real nice. So this is my favorite. And I got these. Like this summer, I was getting some work done on the Civic in town. Let's see what we got. This should be a wild garlic. If I can get it. I planted some bulbs. You know, I was in a field and collected, you know, while I was waiting for the Civic to get worked on. You know, I couldn't you know, drop it off, and then I'll just wait. And rather than just sitting in their office, it's kind of like I'll just walk down the street to this kind of cemetery. These are like dead people onions or garlics. And you know, you get the main bulb right there, but then here you got a little baby one. So it's going around like a little side. Oh, this was the one that I planted. So, you know, I took these little side ones, you know. It'll end up doing like 2 little side bulbs on this. You know, cloves, I guess, is what it's called. 2 side cloves. You know, take those side cloves and plant those side cloves. That was like this sometime. No, that was like... June, maybe, something like that, you know. And in general, you want to plant your garlics in the fall, but I went ahead and did that. So here's kind of the main one. That side shoot that I planted in there created the main stalk. Now that's nice. So like these top parts kind of got like a, they're like pretty much, what do you call it, like chives? But then that bulb, those chives are nice. It smells like, I mean, it tastes a lot like chives. That bulb was actually like a sweet onion. Called wild garlic though. And it'll create this stalk that'll do this little funky looking thing. Yeah, so blueberries, you know, getting all dry in July. Not much luck. Goji berries did really good though. I've been picking them and harvesting the seeds. I'm just gonna gather seeds. What do you call it? These are like pretty spindly, you know, little stalks, you know, like constantly flopping over. And that was from a cutting, you know, people took a cutting, you know, the nurse. Oh wow. Wild garlic's got like an after bite. Like oxalic acid or something, maybe? Is that the bite that onions and garlic have? Scratch it at the back of your throat. Yeah, letting these black-eyed Susans dry out some more. This past their flowering period. I don't know if this is one of my intended flowers or if it's a weed, you know, but it's a nice looking flower, so I'm leaving it. You know, there's like some hummingbirds that go around, but it's, the flower season's kind of over up here, you know, because I have such a little variety. You know, next year these broadleaves will flower out and maybe they'll be flowering now, you know, so when the black-eyed Susans go away, there'll be something else to flower. Yeah, that's it. You know, pawpaw didn't, getting all dry in July. Pawpaw struggled, blueberries struggled, you know, but the figs and the goji berries did. They handled the dryness rather well. And figs actually like dryness, you know, they're from the Middle East, I think, maybe. So, I mean, dry is good for them. Pawpaw, you really want to water it a lot the first few years. And that didn't really happen. You know, I was saving these water jugs, you know, I was thinking I'd be watering them in August, but it's just been raining so much where I really don't need to water them. Yeah, so that's pretty much the update though. Got the poo pile and the other poo pile, and that poo pile I moved to right there. And that's pretty much it.